All right, in today's video, we're going to be examining Bitcoin and recent price action, and is it all noise, as well as a clip from Simply Bitcoin asking the question of basically what else is there? Where else can you store your hard-earned fiat? All right, so stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. Drip Coach here with Drip and Farm for Poverty, where we don't trust, we verify, and operate with integrity and transparency. So first, I'm gonna play this intro from Simply Bitcoin. I'm not gonna go into the other stuff in there because I just really want to bounce this idea off you guys and ask, what are you actually doing? Like, what are the other options that are out there?
Watching Bitcoin climb higher feels like watching a train leave without you, but it's not too late. At Drip2 BTC, you can grow your Bitcoin like never before. Earn up to 3,000% APR on credit conversions and discounts on Bitcoin purchases. Step 1, buy Bitcoin. Step 2, deposit it. Step 3, let your wallet do the work. Don't miss this chance to change your life. Start today at drip2btc.com.
Legendary short investor Jim Chanos is calling Michael Saylor a salesman and initiating a short trade against MicroStrategy.
Michael Saylor is a wonderful salesman, but that's what he is. He's a salesman. And what he's selling investors is the concept that you give me your money and I'm just going to go buy Bitcoin. And hopefully the value of my stock trades at a premium to the value of that Bitcoin. And so as long as I can keep doing that, I generate value.
Jim, here's my question. And this is true for any other major investor right now. Where else would you invest your money or other people's money right now? The dollar is on track for its worst performance in 3 decades. The United States public debt to GDP looks like a developing nation. And the stock market is at its highest valuation measured against GDP of all time. You remember that movie, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once? Well, everything, everyone, everywhere, all at once is beginning to converge onto Bitcoin. There are no value traits left out there. It's the universe.
And that's actually a good question. So this guy's talking about basically a MicroStrategy, and there's been a lot of, I've talked about this myself, but a lot of people in the news and the media, just speculation. Nobody really knows, like the way that he's got this thing engineered just seems like it's a house of cards because we don't understand it. And regardless though, you have to ask yourself the simple question that he posed here about this. So it's like, okay, you're shorting MicroStrategy, or, let's just say you're waiting for something or you're doing something else. Like, what is the other something that you could actually be doing? If you're not putting your money in Bitcoin, then we already know you are indeed losing. And then if you're gambling on S&P or anywhere else, we know that that's a losing trade as well in the long term. So the question to really ask yourself is like, what else is there to put your money in? Bitcoin has outperformed everything when you zoom out. Of course, over the last couple of months or maybe a year or whatever, you can say that it's down, like that video I showed you where Peter Schiff was essentially cherry picking information about gold. So there are some things, if you're going to be a trader, that can indeed outperform in the short term. But I'm assuming most of you guys that watch my channel, like myself, you don't have the resources, the time, or the skill set to actually get out there and trade. So you're looking for something that you can actually kind of set it and forget it. And the only thing that I found is Bitcoin. I tried the other shit token cult community projects and put money in there, and that just did not work. Even one recently that I asked in my chat that I never shilled on my channel, that you can't find any information about anymore, is Stable Swap, which migrated to Privilege Club. And somebody had told me probably about 9 months ago that was a Ponzi waiting to collapse. And it looks like they actually did. So there's probably some people still drinking the Kool-Aid. I know it was being shilled by quite a bit of the former drip influencers, but never once did you see that on my channel. Why? Because, again, they all end up the same way. So where else are you going to put your money is the point that I'm getting at. You can look at gold, you can look at stocks, all this other stuff. But all of those are essentially derivatives of fiat. Unless you're holding physical gold bars, verified, proper carat ratio, then more than likely you have paper gold, and you probably won't be able to get that out if you needed to. And you definitely can't take it, with you if you need to leave the country or you want to go move in somewhere else. So that doesn't work. And the same thing can go for Bitcoin. You want to make sure you're getting your Bitcoin off the exchanges. I'm going to do a video about that in the future, but that's why I look at Ledin as the premier. And even also drip to BTC and high yield BTC, because that is actually moving Bitcoin off of an exchange and it's into the public ledger. Remember, on drip to BTC and high yield BTC, you can see your wallet on chain. That means you do indeed have access to that Bitcoin. Now, of course, it's custodied on drip to BTC, but unlike Coinbase or Binance or any of the other centralized exchanges, you don't actually know if they have the Bitcoin that they say they have. Very few of them have transparent proof of reserves. So moving it off the exchange is the number one way to ensure that you have the Bitcoin that you say you have. Remember, I did a video previously about Michael Saylor talking about why they don't want to do proof of reserves. So TLDR is, what else can you invest in? What other options are there? And the only one is Bitcoin. And the only way to ensure that you have indeed invested in it is to move it off the exchange and self-custody it yourself. Now, with that being said, because that is the only option, you may be looking at the charts going, what the hell's going on with Bitcoin? Why is it down? Blah, 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 blah. But that leads me to another clip from Raoul Pal. So he put this out and said, keeps trucking along, doing its debasement thing. If 89% of BTC's price action is explained by global liquidity, then by definition, almost all news and narratives is noise. Enjoy your weekend. And that's a pretty good bet, almost 90%. So that means anything that you see in the headlines, like this, Bitcoin falls under 104K as Israel's war with Iran continues. Yeah, war, like the old song goes, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. It's not something to just, bury your head in the sand and, not really worry about. It does suck for both sides. There is no benefit except for the people printing the paper. But at the end of the day, the price action doesn't matter. So this clickbait sort of information, it's like, Bitcoin falls under 104K because of the war with Iran. It's like, really? Do you really think it's the war with Iran? Do you really think Bitcoin cares about the war with Iran? No, it is untethered to any and everything out there. So as long as you're staying humble, stacking sats, and you understand that Bitcoin just goes in lock and step with global liquidity, and that it will eventually just swallow everything, then you could pretty much, not care, so to speak, about these news narratives and information out there, because like Raoul said, it's all just noise. So the TLDR I wanted to ask you guys is, what else are you investing in? What are you doing with your fiat? As I told you guys, have gotten pretty much completely out. I try to take 100% of my paycheck and any income that I get, even the little amount that I get from revenue on YouTube. I try to just put all that via DCA into Bitcoin. So basically right now, all my bills go to a cashback credit card. And I'm going to be looking at a different one I'm going to migrate to that has more travel points, because that is actually what I really want to do, is I want to travel more. And I don't want to travel in economy. I want to travel business and first class. So getting a really good rewards point travel card is actually better for me than the cash back. But as long as you have decent, what would you call that, financial acumen and a budget, then using a credit card as your day-to-day expenses, and then using Bitcoin to get a loan to pay off the credit card each month, allows you to double dip and never sell your Bitcoin. So that is the strategy that I'm leveraging at the moment. But again, just wanted to ask you guys, what other options are out there? What do you think about the current price action of Bitcoin and about others investing in other items, maybe MSTR or stock, or, are you doing gold? I'm just curious. Like for me, it's just 100% Bitcoin. That's it. I don't see any other option out of this fiat slavery Ponzi trap. But I make this content for you guys, so I want to know where you're at. So drop it in the comments below and smash that HBO special. Help a brother out. Lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.